is a P-I-G pig.
Howdy, folks. So how y'all been? Day 20 of the stupidity occupation. I swear to God, man, this is like a goddamn onion. You think you're getting to the bottom of it, and boy, there's another layer. So to kind of keep the tally running here, we have the world's dumbest brain surgeon. He is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. We have an open bona fide racist now as our Attorney General. We have Kellyanne Conway, who's like the gift that keeps on giving. Every time that woman opens her mouth in front of a camera and a microphone, I just feel our collective IQ lose 1 or 2 more points. I was looking at my social media today and saw on my news feed that she was counseled, which is a she white person word for they took her ass out to the woodshed and beat it a few goddamn times. She was counseled for apparently plugging Ivanka Trump's wardrobe. And of course, there's a big old mess going on with that too. What in this goddamn administration isn't a big old goddamn mess? So Donald Trump is kind of like that guy at the party that someone brings. No one knows who brought him. But as soon as he starts making a goddamn mess, everybody's looking around like, he's not with me, including the person who brought him. Whoever brought him, he's not with me. Don't blame me for him. So apparently, like, big business is pulling away, man. He's losing endorsements left and right. And so are his kids, or at least Ivanka. Holy shit. So, Nordstrom's, which I guess is a big department store. I've never been in one. I'm afraid I'm not a, this is not a Nordstrom's customer you're looking at, but even the name of it sounds fancy, Nordstrom's. Like something you would expect to hear in a 50s or 60s movie. Well, we're going to go down to Nordstrom's and do some shopping. So apparently they declined to carry her line anymore. And of course, Donnie Dumko went on a tantrum on Twitter about it. And here comes Kellyanne Conway. Hold my beer. Who decides to go plug in the line. Now, here's the punchline. This was something else that I saw. You know, you have that moment when you hit rock bottom. You think it can't get any worse. So I was looking in my news feed, and a little later in the afternoon, I saw there was another news article. Apparently, Marshalls and TJ Maxx have both decided, A, to not carry Ivanka Trump's clothes anymore, and B, they're throwing away all the signage saying that they carry Ivanka Trump's clothes. Now, let me help some of y'all understand what's going on here. So I'm up to 980 subscribers. And I know I kind of have a semi-international audience. Some of y'all may not know what TJ Maxx and Marshalls is. So here's what they do. We know that all the fashion people, they have seasons. They have the winter season collection. They have the spring season collection. They have the summer season collection. And they have the fall season collection. And they put them out there, knowing that people who have a hell of a lot more money than I do would go out and pay, man. Can you imagine this? Buying 4 fucking wardrobes a year. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fall, winter, spring, summer. 4 wardrobes a year. Now, true story. Some of y'all may even see me plug this in a future video. As you can tell, I live in an apartment complex. I know some of y'all think I should be in a trailer somewhere, but that's not the case. So, my apartment complex has been through not 1, not 2, but 3 different owners in the 8 years since I've been here. So a few years ago, we've talked about this in past videos. Sometimes I go through depressive cycles, and when I go through a depressive cycle, my weight goes down. I don't give a shit about eating. I don't think about eating. And suddenly I'll go from 325 to 275. And then I'll start feeling awesome again. And I'll go from 275 to 350. So over the years, I've kind of built some contingency wardrobes. So I had the 2XL, the 46 pants, the 3XL, the 50 pants, and the 4XLs and the 54s to kind of size me up depending on where I am when my goddamn moods and emotions decide to motivate my weight. So those of you who've been watching for a while, since I started making these videos again in April now, I went through a huge period, man. I got real, man, almost 250 pounds. Like that was just, I watched those old videos, man, from like April, back when I started making these. And I looked like a fucking deflated human being, man. So I was in the small end of my wardrobe. So you got to keep that in mind. My 3XL wardrobe and my 4XL wardrobe. So I got a storage bin. The owners, the management company that owned us before the current one, I went in there and I talked to the apartment manager. This delightful woman named Latrice. No, sorry, Tyrese. And she says, well, yeah, there's a storage facility actually right under your building. Your bedroom overlaps and it's kind of built under the unit next to you. Their bedroom is behind, so we have the storage facility in that dead space. If you see one that's unoccupied, you just go ahead and you put a padlock on it and you put your stuff in there. Fantastic. So on my 3XL50s and my 4XL54s, I went down to Ollie's, which is a liquidator, and I bought a whole bunch of plastic tubs, and I put all my clothes, man, all my big clothes and my super big clothes down there. Oh, so back in September, here comes the new owners. Now, admittedly, the previous management company kind of let the place fall into wreck, man. There was actually right outside my unit, there's a big ass pothole that I always have to kind of drive around so I wouldn't wreck my car's tires. They kind of let the place fall into disrepair. So, bless their hearts, when they bought the property, they started doing a bunch of renovations, man. Like, they replaced a shitty leaky roof that was on this building. They started doing some other things. They started making the property look kind of nice. They tried controlling the groups of free-range teenagers who tended to run rampant after sundown in the area. So they kind of tried to get the place in control. So about 2 weeks ago. All right, so one more thing, man. The people living on that side of my wall are noisy as fuck. I mean, super fucking noisy. They got 3 goddamn kids, one of whom is prone to screaming and crying at any time of the goddamn day. Pick 3. 3 kids. One of them is going to be fucking acting out. One of them is screaming and crying, man. I hear it right through that wall. When they ain't doing that, they're moving furniture and they're banging shit around and I hear it on the wall. So I'm just kind of used to noise coming from this side of my room, man. I sleep with earplugs, so between that and the CPAP, I drown it all out. So 2 weeks ago, I wake up and I hear slamming and I hear moving and I hear all this shit. And my thought is, man, the next door neighbors are just fucking around again. God damn it. Then about 2 hours later, I go outside and I see the door to the storage unit ajar. Now, let me tell you, you have never seen a fat man move so fast between my apartment building and the goddamn rental office. And again, man, I had a t-shirt on, but just looking just like this, man. I had the short, I had the t-shirt on. I walked through that goddamn door, and I'm huffing because, man, I ran, seriously. This big body, this is not a running body. I call myself a large land mammal for a reason. I am a large, slow land mammal. I will get where the fuck I'm going when I get there and not a second earlier. So I run in the front door of the apartment complex. Someone's in the storage bin. Oh, by the way, so when I went in there, all the goddamn locks had been cut. All the shit in the lockers had been taken, including my 53 XLs and my 54 4XLs. So I'm in the apartment manager's office. Gone, clothes, tubs, bins, lots. And she's like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Because the last thing she needed was my big fat ass to fall in the middle of the office with a heart attack. And I was already on the edge of that. So to make a long story short, she says, well, we sent out 2 letters that we were going to clean out the storage bins, and we told everybody to tell us, and didn't see a goddamn thing show up. Oh, now they'll tell us the day before they're going to come in and ransack the apartment. pulling out all the furniture so they can get in and replace all the electrical outlets, which again was a blessing in disguise. You put some of those electrical outlets in and the plug would just fall right out. I wasn't bitching about that, but more than 24 hours notice to get my dwelling ready for strangers to come in here and move shit around, and then to come home after work and find that shit had been moved and I had to spend 2 hours kind of cleaning up and put everything back into place. They'll tell me about that 2 hours in advance, but they won't tell me 24 hours in advance that they're going to cut all the locks off on all the storage bins and send all the shit to the dump. And that was what I found out. She makes a few phone calls and I'm sitting there just trying to catch my breath. She finally says, "We all kind of have bad news. Your stuff is at the dump by now." I'm like, "Fine, tell me where the goddamn dump is. I'll rescue my shit." "Well, there's kind of a problem with that." And if a white woman ever tells you there's kind of a problem with that, brace for impact, man. Shit ain't going to end well. A white woman telling you there's kind of a problem with that is her way of saying shit is fucked up. So she says, "There's kind of a problem with that. They put all the stuff in the compactor and they incinerate it as it comes in." So at that point in time, all my fucking clothes had been compacted and incinerated. I couldn't even goddamn do a dump rescue. So I say that because that was my fat wardrobe and my fatter wardrobe. And I've been building on that for years and years and years and years, man. You talk about these white people who are into like content curation. You ever see that, man? Hipsters love that word, curate, man. I'm going to curate content. You're not curating shit. You're just finding stuff on a webpage and putting the webpage up there, man. You're talking like you're a fucking employee of the Modern Museum of Art in New York. You're a fucking hipster in your parents' basement just looking at web pages or finding music to recommend. Man, you're not doing curation, but I curated both of those goddamn wardrobes. Because if you're a big boy, you know that nice clothes in our size is a goddamn hard thing to find. So I've been building and building and building. And all my building was down at the goddamn dump, compacted and incinerated. Now, I say that because I had big wardrobes, man, and there was all sorts of seasonal shit in there. But there are some people who every goddamn season, they'll go out to the department store of their choice and they'll buy the fall collection, the spring collection, the winter collection, the summer collection. Fucking white people problems, man. For me, I'm just happy to walk into a Kmart or a Walmart and find a pair of goddamn 50 by 29 pants that I can actually wear. Or better yet, when I walk into the big and tall section, I'm actually just happy to see that they got some 3 and 4XL shit in my size. But I say that because, a quick side story, by the way, before we get there. So not only do I have this little pizza here, but I've been hearing from several of my fat friends, Taco Bell has what they call the naked chicken chalupa. Now, I'm all about the word naked, man. You know, at this point in time in the video, I got my shirt off, and if, you know, this is YouTube. These can't come off. These have to stay on YouTube. Now, if I was on the tube of X at this point in time, this would come off, and it would be all hands in play. But I spoke to several of my fat friends because, you know, we all talk to each other. And they were telling me, "Oh, my God, you got to try this naked chicken chalupa. This naked chicken chalupa is the most amazing fucking thing." Now, if I have 5 fucking fat people who tell me in a 48-hour period I have to try some food, I'm going to make a special trip to try some of that food. So, as I was out earlier tonight, before I came in, oh, look at this. They have a little wrapper for it and everything. Look at that, man. It says naked chicken. And what this is apparently a chalupa, but instead of the fried tortilla, they just put a big fucking piece of chicken here, man. It's kind of like that KFC Double Down. Eh? Y'all remember the Double Down from a few years ago? They didn't even put bread on that goddamn thing. They just put 2 goddamn pieces of chicken in place of the bread. So I decided, since I was going to make a video tonight, that I would swing by my friend the neighborhood Taco Bell and get one of these naked chicken chalupas just to give it a try. Because like I said, man, if I have multiple fat people telling me, you got to try this, I always tell, man, you know, if you want good food recommendations, don't pick up a copy of Bon Appetit. Don't hit up the skinny fucking hipster who's sitting at the bar who will tell you to go to this or go to that because it's hip and what it's turning. You find a big old fat ass and you ask them, where is the good food? Because I guarantee you, if you got a body like this, if you look like me, you know where the good food is. So I got the naked chicken chalupa. And I already hit it up with a little mild sauce. We're going to give this bad boy a try. Oh, fuck yeah. God damn. It's messy as goddamn hell, but holy shit, this is good. Oh, Taco Bell, I totally approve of this, man. And according to when I was at the drive-thru and I was pulling up, they said this thing was a limited time only. I'm gonna fucking be back for more of these. My god damn, that was good. I approve of the naked chicken chalupa. So kind of getting off the tangent of the tangent and getting back on. So what happens is I had multiple wardrobes. But my multiple wardrobes were curated for my sizes, man. So, you know, when I got depressed and I got small to the point, I could transition down to the 2XL 46s. No problem. I just had an idea. I got 2 packets of mild sauce left, man. We're talking about hipsters and foodies. I'm going to try some fusion cuisine. I'm going to take a packet of mild sauce and throw it on this piece of goddamn pizza. Mexican and Italian food. This has got to make Donald Trump piss his pants. You know, it ain't bad. I was actually kind of disappointed that Taco Bell discontinued verde sauce. That was always my go-to next to mild. But anyway, so like I said, I just had multiple wardrobes. So I kind of had my 2XL, my 3XL, my 4XL. I didn't go out every year and buy a new season. So, you know, when Walmart put out the spring faded glory collection, the summer faded glory collection, the fall faded glory collection, the winter faded glory collection, I couldn't bring myself to go out there and do that. Oh. Oh. Or when Kmart would put out basic editions. The fall basic editions collection. The winter basics edition collection. The spring basics edition collection. The summer basics edition collection. They probably didn't have the clothes in my size, because here's part of the problem. And I've noticed this, man, you know, from years and years and years of buying clothes at Walmart and Kmart. If they put 5 large shirts in a shipment going to a store, they're going to put like 5 large, 5XL, 2XL. There's always going to be that like one goddamn 3XL. And by the time I get to the goddamn store, the 3XL is always gone. Likewise, going out to Kmart. It's the same goddamn thing. Unless I somehow hit the store within 1 or 2 days of them getting the truck and putting the clothes out on the rack, by the time I finally get there, man, the 3XLs are always gone. So that's half the reason why I could never get the entire 3XL Fall Faded Glory collection. Or I guess at this point in time, it's early February, so we're getting ready to release the Spring Faded Glory collection. Walmart dishing out golf shirts in pastel colors. I would never see them. I could never have it. Because by the time I get there, most of the stuff in my size is gone. Ugh. But to get off the tangent, rich, shishi white people can go into Nordstrom's, or go into Dillard's, or go into Belk, and they could buy the winter Ivanka Trump collection. I'm sorry, the winter 2015 Ivanka Trump collection, the spring 2016 Ivanka Trump collection, the summer 2016 Ivanka Trump collection. Now, at some point in time, the clothes aren't all going to sell. So here you are. You're a department store that tries to sell clothes to rich, hip, trendy white people. And when they walk into your store, they're expecting to see the latest looks and the latest collections. So what the hell are you going to do when you get to the end of the summer and you got the fall clothes coming in? Well, yeah, you put them on clearance for a little while. But what do you do when it's the middle of October and you got summer clothes on clearance and people are putting out pumpkins and witches and skeletons and shit? The summer shit ain't going to move. At some point in time, you have to make the declaration, summer is done. We can't move the shit. And we can't put it on clearance, and no one is going to buy it. Here comes TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Hold my beer. So what they do is they buy all the unwanted, unpurchased, kind of mid to high fashion clothes from all these department stores, and they buy them up in bulk, and they send them out to their stores, and they sell them at a discount. So while you got places like Nordstrom's and Macy's at Belk, they're dealing to like the upper middle class, lower upper class white people who can go out and buy 4 wardrobes a year or buy 4 pieces from wardrobes a year. Then they get sold off to Marshalls and TJ Maxx. So now you're seeing middle class white people go in there. And they're buying brand name fashions that might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons behind. But let's be goddamn honest. If you see somebody wearing a Polo Ralph Lauren shirt, what are you going to pay more attention to? Are you going to ask them, what season collection is that from? Or are you just going to see the little dude on the horse with the polo mallet and say, you're wearing polo. You must be rich. You must have money. Oh my God. Yeah, come on, let's think about that. So basically, for lack of a better word, TJ Maxx and Marshalls, they're kind of like the bottom feeders of the white people fashion world. They buy up the shit that the rich white people don't want to buy. And they buy it up in bulk. And they send it out to their stores. So middle-class white people who want to be better than all the other white people can go out and buy the clothes, and they can run around. I'm wearing Gucci. I'm wearing Ralph Lauren. I'm wearing Ivanka Trump. Meanwhile, it's like, you're wearing Ivanka Trump, but that's 3 seasons behind, bitch. Most people don't know that shit. So Donna Dumko made the news this week because TJ Maxx and Marshalls not only decided that they were going to de-emphasize the fact that they were carrying Ivanka Trump's clothes, but they were also going to throw away all the signage that promoted her clothes. So, of course, Donna Dumko runs to Twitter, as Donna Dumko was wont to do. The people at Nordstrom's were mean to my daughter Ivanka, who's been nothing but good. Shame on you, Nordstrom's. And likewise, you got Marshalls and TJ Maxx facing the same scrutiny. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, they was being mean to my daughter. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't fault Donald for this. Every parent has an internal need to defend their children. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not saying that what he was doing was necessarily bad. What you see there is a daddy being a daddy. If I was in a situation where one of my kids came to me and said, Daddy, someone is being mean to me, someone is mistreating me, I'd be like, hold my beer. And I'd roll up goddamn sleeves and I'd go in there ready to bust some goddamn chops. So what you're seeing there is Donald Trump being a dick, but Donald Trump being a dick from being a daddy. I get that. However, in the bigger picture, what we're seeing is everybody is pulling away from Donald Trump, man. All the fashion labels, all the brands, man. Macy's kicked his shit out of their stores. I think it was last summer. As soon as he got the nomination, I think Macy's officially said, yeah, we're done. We're not carrying your stuff anymore. So we've got this administration in place that just seems to specialize in embarrassing publicity. Like I said, man, we got Kellyanne Conway. Every time that white woman opens her mouth, the dumb is like overwhelming. If you're a comics reader, you may be familiar with the Inhumans. Marvel's been trying to give them a little bit of an elevated presence, man. You know, the poor Inhumans, Marvel introduced them in the 60s and kind of put them on the back burner, man. They're like a second-tier accessory to the Fantastic Four family. And they briefly got a series of their own in the 70s. In the 80s, they were kind of on the back burner. In the 90s, they were on the back burner. In the 2000s, they were on the back burner. And then in the late 2000s, Marvel had success with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man. Y'all remember that? Iron Man, showing into Iron Man 2, which set up the Avengers, the Captain America movie, the Thor movie. The problem was, of course, Marvel signed away their rights to the X-Men and the idea of the mutant to Fox Studios, who just took that, man. Poor Marvel. They signed their rights away to Fox, and Fox is like, here, I'm going to fuck you for a bit. Look at this. That goddamn Fantastic Four movie, man, that was sad, sad, sad. So, Marvel said, Fox owns the idea of mutants. Now, I will say that the X-Men movies haven't been that bad from Fox. All right, so let's talk about it. X-Men was kind of okay. X2 was fucking awesome, man. X2 was one of the greatest goddamn movies I've ever seen. X3, let's not talk about that. But then you get into like First Class. First Class was not bad. And then the sequel to First Class was not bad. Apocalypse in the big picture was not bad. Poor Fantastic Four, meanwhile, hold my beer. And I'm running out of food and I'm running out of beer, which means I'm running out of time on this. We can talk about this in another film. What Fox did to the poor Fantastic Four franchise, man, that makes like the 2005 and the 2007 film look like fucking Academy Award winning filmmaking. I saw a fan. How do we pronounce that, man? They put the 4 in for the 8. Fantastic Four. Anyway, that was just bad, bad, bad. The problem was Fox also had the idea, they had kind of copyright on the idea of mutants. So they couldn't use the idea of mutants. So instead, Marvel said, let's elevate the Inhumans. Let's elevate the idea of the Inhumans. Expose them to the Terrigen Mist. It activates this latent ability. And suddenly the Inhumans go from like third string players who only made an appearance in the Marvel Universe every year to renew the copyright on the characters to like these big performing A-list characters. So here comes Medusa, the redhead chick with the Tendra-like long hair who can control it like appendages. Every time Kellyanne fucking Conway opens her goddamn mouth, it's like fucking Medusa throwing her hair out and using it as an attack. That fucking white blonde-haired woman, when she opens her fucking mouth, the stupidity is like Lockjaw has teleported the Inhumans in, and here comes Medusa, and Medusa is grabbing people with her hair and slamming them around. That's like Kellyanne Conway and the stupidity that she fucking spews every time she opens her goddamn mouth. This is the woman who gave us the idea of alternative facts. Now, what the fuck does that mean, alternative facts? To this day, and you have to understand, I live in the South. I live in North Carolina. I am deep in fucking Trump territory every goddamn day. I see fucking Trump bumper stickers. I see people with bumper stickers. I'm a deplorable. Not that you would want to advertise that. I'm a little bit of a deplorable myself, but I kind of try to keep that on the down low. That is not something that I want to advertise to the world. Down here in the South, though, man, I'm a deplorable. Trump, what? Fuck y'all, man. So, you have these people. Oh, God damn it, man. That 6 beers hit me, and I just lost my train of thought. But you have these goddamn people who they have this alternative facts. How the fuck do you determine that? A fact is a fact is a fact is a fact. You don't have alternative facts. 2 plus 2 does not equal 5. But here we have Kellyanne Conway. They're talking about numbers at the inauguration. And the media says, well, you know, we kind of compared all Obama's. We looked at the we looked at the area of Obama's inauguration, and we saw a lot of people. And we kind of looked at the area of Trump's inauguration, and we didn't see a lot of people. She comes out, well, yeah, you can believe on alternative facts. What the fuck is this alternative fact shit? There are no alternative fact shit. Kellyanne, I'm fucking drunk right now, and I understand the idea there are no goddamn alternative facts. You're fucking sober, and you're trying to say they're alternative facts. Get the fuck off the crack pipe, woman. So anyway, some scary, scary fucking times, man. You know, we're early into the cabinet confirmation hearings, and we won't even talk, well, maybe in another video, because I got a bunch of more beers downstairs, and I got a Harris Teeter just 3 miles up the road that way, where I can get more beer on demand if I need it. Let's talk another time about Jeff Sessions, because I think we need to talk about that motherfucker at some point in time. But as you can see, unfortunately, I'm out of pizza. And I'm out of beer. Seriously, man, that was the last splash of beer. God damn it. So I think since dinner is over, we're going to wrap this up. Now, if y'all want to reach out to me, I'm on social media. I'm available. Go on Facebook, facebook.com/bigfatstrappycat, BIGFATSTRIPEYCAT. If you're on Telegram, you can find me at Big Fat Strappy Cat, BIGFATSTRIPEYCAT. If you would like to fuel one of these videos in the future, you can send a PayPal to BIGFATSTRIPEYCAT at gmail.com. Let's see, where else can you find me? You can find me on Tumblr, even though I removed a majority of my content last month. You can find me on Tumblr at Big Fat Stripey Cat, BIGFATSTRIPEYCAT. So stay in touch, folks, man. It's going to be a scary 4 fucking years, but we can get through this all together. And I am really hoping at some point in time in November of 2020, I can have a celebratory drunk video where I'm not thinking about all the crazy fucking shit and all the crazy stupid shit that people are doing. So until then, folks, y'all be good. And y'all stay fucking safe out there, man.
That boy is a pig pig.